Is that on? Okay, Will, hey, how are you? You know, this 9th of September, we're videotaping this in late August, but I'm telling you, on the 9th of September, Willies is 35 years old. And so we're gonna go through and I'm gonna have some old employees tell a few stories. I'm gonna have, tell you a few stories, and I'm gonna bore you for a while because I'm old and that's what we do. We tell stories, right? So Willies is 35 years old. I gotta tell you, I never dreamed it would even get off the ground. I worked in Chicago at a place called Soundpost, and we drew a lot of repair work, and I did the repairs at the store, and a lot of those customers followed me to Willies here, and we had this almost all night used in vintage guitar show. Now this is from September 9th, 1989, and I had run a mail order catalog out of my house, and we gave away a 50s Fender Tweed amp. Gave it away. Just put a number in a jar, we pulled the number, and back then that Tweed champ was about $250. And then they went up to $400 and people were like, what? $400 for a Tweed champ? They'll never go beyond $500. That's crime. Yeah, they kind of did. So the market is always, it's climbed. It has climbed. These are American icons. And I've always believed that these are built like nothing else. And these early pre-65 instruments. When I first opened Willies, I had a collection of 345s. And fairly recently, I bought this 1959 blonde stoptail ES 345. It's a really rare guitar. 59 is the big neck. It's got PAFs, of course, rosewood board. I like the looks of a 345. I had about 7 of them, which was, you know, a collection, really. And I sold them off. In the early days of Willies, I had to sell them off. And so, yeah, whatever, you know, you do what you got to do. They're just guitars. Sometimes you buy them, sometimes you keep them. I hope to keep this for a while. I really love the grain. I love the vibe of it. I'm not really fond of guitars that are super minty. I tend to sell them to people that have the patience to collect them. I like them to play. I remember going to that location and offering the guy a silver dollar. He was 90 years old, and he held that silver dollar in his hand, and he said, I'll hold it for you for 60 days. That's all I'm giving you. And that's all the time I needed to go and do the song and dance at the bank. Yes, I promise I'll pay you back. I promise I'll pay you back. And they were like, okay. I was like, huh? But we're giving you half of what you asked for. They gave me $15,000. That's what Willie started out on, is a $15,000 loan. With that, I bought slat wall. With that, I bought a calculator. I bought a cash register. I remember going to a guy that was going out of business, and I bought the cash register for $50. And he was like, $50 for the cash register? He opened up the register, pulled out the cash, dumped it into a box, unplugged it, handed it to me, and I used it for 20 years. So we always just recycled stuff. I went to the Donaldson's going out of business sale, and I bought all the furniture that's still here in this new Willies. All these old display cases. You come up to the counter where our cash register is, and that is a countertop that's like from the 40s. All our counters are from the 40s, from Donaldson's. So I went to the going out of business sale. That was a blast. It was fun being a poor guy trying to open up this little store. And I'm going to tell you, any of you people out there that are trying to open up some sort of business, you need an ear to talk to. I'm happy to talk to you. Not all day. I mean, you know, it's hard running a business. We get busy, but I am happy to talk to you. I've always been fond of Esquires too. This is a 1960 Esquire. Why the hell would anybody buy a Telecaster without the neck pickup? Because they kind of vibrate more. Without the extra break, the extra pickup being a magnet and pulling on the strings, they tend to be more resonant. I remember talking to Paul Reed Smith, a buddy, at length about why the Esquires were so desirable by dealers. Dealers tend to be mature buyers. And they gravitate towards these simple instruments, and they do have a really graceful look. You have to admit, a pre-CBS Esquire just has a vibe about it. You rest in your hand here, and it's just all simple. And it's got great tone. And this is out of tune, so, we'll deal with that. Any of you that remember, and our buddy Tom Petty too. Now, you probably can't see because I got it behind glass. I was cleaning my house the other day, and I found his contact. I found Tom Petty's, all his contact information, his email. Oh my God. And So I got this from Roger Benedict about 2 years before he passed away. No, 2 months before he passed away. A 1962 Hummingbird. I lost my sign, but you get the idea. A 62 Hummingbird. Benedict Music, Roger Benedict owned that place, and he died right after, suddenly. And Roger came on suddenly. What is now Twin Town Guitars is still there in Minneapolis. Great people, Twin Town Guitars. And that was Benedict Music back in the day. I bought this from Roger Benedict, God rest his soul. It's so cool. And I got a little story I'm going to tell you that I've never told anybody. I was playing this in my house. I got the call that Roger died, and as I'm playing it, a light next to me popped on for no reason. I gotta tell you, there was no switch, there was no rumble. The light just came on as I was playing and kind of talking to Roger. It was scary. Really, scary and cool and fun. And there, I shared that with you. I'll deny ever telling it, so don't tell anybody, okay? But the Hummingbird, this is the first year they came out. They needed something a little more pizzazz to compete with Martin. It still had the mahogany back and sides of the J45, more binding, more trim, neck binding, pearl inlaid, less of a working man's guitar and more of a fancy guitar, performer's guitar, a pop star guitar. And it's still going to resonate long after I set it down. So we're going to give you some other videos. We are 35 this month here in September. Right now it's September coming up, but coming around the corner. We're going to have some guys come in and tell you some stories about finding Joe Walsh's guitar that he recorded Hotel California, finding Jimmy Page's guitar that he lost here in Minneapolis, and he recorded Whole Lotta Love, his first mega hit, and getting it back to him and getting a nice call from Jimmy Page. It was very polite, very British, very polite, nice guy. And Joe Walsh, who's everybody's guitar hero, he finally got it. Joe, you need this back. Shut up, you want this back. And he was like, all right, I'll take it. So it was a burst too. There you go. I am going to let you go. This is a bit of a little personal time for me right now, but I do want to share some stuff, and we'll share more as we go on. 35 years. It's been great. We thank you all of you, really. Even you guys that haven't shopped here yet, you've been very supportive to me. You've been very supportive to the staff. We've got the world's best staff. We've got the coolest store. Now it's in this Buddhist temple, and I'll probably sell Willies pretty soon. So keep you posted on all of that, and we're going to let you go. Let's pan out with this.